Please welcome Reshma Jobanputra.
Excellent, thank you. So at the beginning of this year, I signed up to do a triathlon. This is one of those things that you normally do when you're hopelessly drunk, right? And the more drunk you are, the bigger the thing you commit to. Elliot runs marathons, by the way. Or you're watching a survival program on TV, you see Bear Grylls doing something, you say, I could do better than that. He's in the Antarctic, you're home, your bunny slippers having herbal tea, but it's the same thing, you could do it anyway. So you sign up to do it in that frame of mind. For me, it was neither of those. Why I would do it, I will come to later, but for me, it's even more surprising. Why would I do something like that? Because to say I wasn't a talented athlete at school would be saying, I don't know, fire is a bit hot type of thing, right? And who remembers cross country? For those of you that don't know, it's these long runs, like long, and it's always raining. On cross country, it's always raining. And they're horrible. I don't know why they do that to children. And do you remember the kids who used to come last? Yeah? You used to come last? I used to aspire to you. One day, I can be like you. So why then? Why would I choose to do something that I clearly have no affinity for? Sure, part of it was to do with I wanted to get fitter. Part of it was to do something good. I was raising money for a cancer charity. But by far, the most important thing was to trust, to gain trust with the one person I have to spend the rest of my life with. That's me. And to change this story from I can't to I can if I try. And so it began. I had 6 months before race day. Race day was 4th of August. Because our time is limited today, so just imagine the Rocky montage, right? That's me training. And of course you have to have an anthem, so it's Eye of the Tiger, or the final countdown, or whatever plays in your mind. I don't know, God Save the Queen, whatever plays in your mind, right? And there were adventures and misadventures all across that, and things that I learnt about. There were so many life lessons that I learnt during that training period. And there were so many firsts. There was the first time I could actually run for 30 minutes straight. There was the first time I rode my bike outside since I was a kid. And there was the first time I went swimming in a lake and even came back. So many different firsts. And this goes in a blink of an eye. 6 months, I had 6 months. 5 months went just like that. 1 month left. 4 weeks left now to race day. And as all us triathletes will tell you, that when you get closer, you measure it in weeks, not months. And 4 weeks became 3 weeks, and 3 weeks became 2 weeks, and 2 weeks became 1 week. 7 days. And I remember that day. We had a strategy reboot lunch together. It was great. It was so much fun. We were all together. Elliot was there, but whatever. And we had so much fun, and it was so nice. And I had to go and meet a friend after that for a coffee. And I left. And we were catching up, and we were having fun. This is with my friend over our coffee. And I get a phone call. I'm very surprised by this because I look at the code and I see it's the country code is India. Anyway, I pick it up and the person says, "Are you Reshma? Are you Reshma Jobanputra?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I'm calling you from Safdarjung Hospital. Your father has had a massive heart attack. He's been admitted over here. He's non-responsive. It's looking very bad. And I'm sure that all of us in this room have had news that is just so shocking and heartbreaking all at the same time. And you can't believe it. Your initial reaction is, you can't believe it. But unfortunately, the horror of reality comes crashing very quickly. The next hour is a blur. The only thing I could think about is, what can I do? What can I do in this? What can I do? And for me, the only thing that came to mind was to be with him. And so I went straight from coffee with my friend to Heathrow. The only things I had in my hand were my purse, and I bought my diving costume that day, my wetsuit for the triathlon. Very strange, must be. I landed the next day in the morning. Thank God, before the plane lifted off, before I boarded, I had the news that he was at least conscious and he was responsive. But nothing else. I reached Delhi the next day in the morning. I went straight to the ICU and I saw my dad there. And there are so many emotions that you go through in that situation, because you're really happy that he's alive. He's there. But you're so sad that he's there. Why is he there? And yes, he was conscious. But the doctors, they refused to say at any point that he's out of danger. And he went for test after test after test after test after test. At each test they go for, you're just praying it's okay. And when you come back, you're relieved every time. 5 days later, by this point my brother was there, my mum was there, my sister-in-law, everybody had come. 5 days later, the doctors walked in, and I knew it was good news by the look on their face. And they said, right, finally, we're happy. You can now move from ICU to a normal room. You're out of danger now. And so happy. It's such a relief. It's almost like a celebration. The only thing you feel is joy at that particular point. And we went to the normal room, and we were so happy, as I said. And when that starts to recede from your mind, the other thoughts start coming back. Reality starts to come back. That day was the 31st of July, 4 days before race day. If I was to take part in that triathlon, I had to leave by the next day. Because I would be here by the 2nd, I could rest the 3rd, and I could do the triathlon on the 4th. What should I do? What should I do? My dad was a lot better. He was a lot better. But there was something inside me that said, don't go. Just stay. And I stayed. And I think it was the right decision, because I think it was a lot of support from my mum. It was a lot of support for my dad. He was very happy to see me there. I came back to London on the 8th of August. Sure, I was happy, but there was a part of me that was very disappointed. There was a part of me that was very upset. And there was a part of me that was very angry. 6 months. What did I do those 6 months for? Why did I wake up at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning? Why did I push myself when I thought there was nothing left? Why did I say no to my friends when they say we're going out? So no, I have to get up tomorrow morning. I have to go running. Why? Why did I do all of that? And it's life. You carry on. Not everything has a happy ending. But But I realized what had changed 2 months later. When a friend of mine asked me that, "Are you dying?" I said, "Not that I know of." And she said, and I said, "Why are you asking me this?" And she said, "Have you noticed the amount of things that you're signing up to do that you would have run a mile from before?" And I hadn't noticed that. I hadn't, and that's it. I realized that what I had gained was trust. When I don't believe in myself, when I don't think I can do something, the better part of me always has my back. Always. And this is what I want to tell you tonight as well. Do whatever it is that you want to do. Whatever it is that scares you. Whatever it is that people say you shouldn't do. Do it. Do it. And you know what? You may not get to your goal. I didn't. I didn't get to my goal, but I got something far bigger than that. So do. And the story up here has changed from, not only from I can if I try, but do. Because remarkable things will happen when you do.